I know who to trust. I come around me, we sizing them up. Call up the gang, they lining it up. Fading it, taping it up with the cut. I had a dream, I was ready for it. Lord told me, hey Dyllyn, you headed for it. Know my future been break up and overpouring. Know my demons, they been trying to overthrow it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Duval, Not Duval. We have a great R&B album. I don't think I reviewed anything of hers on the channel yet, but we're reviewing Alex Isley's and Jack Dyne's Marigold album. I'm a big fan of Alex Isley. I made a post about her on Instagram and such. And yes, she is, I believe, the daughter of one of the Isley brothers. I think it's Ernie. I'm pretty sure it's Ernie. But she is an R&B artist that I feel is very under the radar, really. Like, never gets any radio play, no one really ever talks to her about her, but her voice is so, soothing is the word I want to use, because she's just such a, like, you'll see, it's just a calm song, and it's just something you enjoy listening to, and just let it play, and it gives you a sense of peace, almost. So, we're going to get straight into the review today. I'm not trying to have a huge conversation before it. It's 9 songs, about 30-ish minutes long, so I'm very excited. Hopefully she does well, because I've loved all of her singles for the last year and a half, and this is like her first album in I think 2 or 3 years now. So yeah. Remember, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Comment any thoughts you have on Alex Isley or any other artist I should be on the lookout for. And let's get into it. So, the first song is called Such a Thing. Alex Isley and Jack Dyne, no features, so let's hear how it goes.
Tiptoed round the door, was not looking for you, busy finding who I am. Never imagined such a thing, never imagined such a thing, so beautiful, wonderful.
Alright, so that was Such a Thing by Alex Isley. I really enjoyed that song. I feel like that's the exact thing I was talking about, like leading into, like, before we even listen to any songs. What I mean when I say her music just makes you feel like calm and at peace. Like, it's just a good song. The bridge was, I liked, at first I didn't necessarily love the bridge, but right when the beat came back in, because it was a little too subdued, and then when the beat came back in, I felt like the bridge was perfect, the perfect outro. Didn't even really notice the transition from the bridge to the outro. I love this song. I mean, really, I guess it's all the songs mentioning, it's one of those positive love songs. I gotta add it to that playlist so when I release that video over just love songs. This is one that I would use, because it's really just talking about her stumbling upon a love interest that she didn't know could be so good. She wasn't expecting it. She never could have imagined such a thing, as she says in the chorus over and over again. She just didn't see it coming, and it came up on her and hit her like a sack of bricks, and she's loving where she's at, basically. Is all she's getting at in the song. But the way Alex Isley and Jack Dyne collaborate, I'm pretty sure Jack Dyne's a producer, and he just does a great job of working with her sound, and not asking, it's always in the same type of pocket. It's never too experimental, which to me is a good thing, because she doesn't have the extensive history of certain artists where she's only been in this pocket, and now it's getting kind of stale. She isn't known enough yet. So I would prefer them stay in this pocket and just sit in it for a minute until she gets her good following. Then you can start to experiment. And so I think this partnership's doing them very well as of now. So we're gonna move into track number 2, called Too Bad I Forget. Let's see what this one's about.
Keep
that was Too Bad I Forget. And to me, this is kind of like the exact opposite of the last song in terms of the song being like speaking positively about love and infatuation. This one's kind of the opposite of like not wanting to be in love or dealing with any of those feelings because you remember how much it hurt you the last time to be involved with somebody. And like she references that, saying that kind of pain ain't worth hurting for. She also says it much more deliberately in one of these lines, saying, there we go. I don't want to, I choose not to feel no more. Then followed it up with that kind of pain ain't worth hurting for. So just speaking that being in love, like she's at the point in her life she feels like love's not worth it because she knows how much it affected her life and kind of made it turn for the worse at a time period, which heartbreak tends to do. If we're being honest, like it really be affecting every facet of your life. I mean, people try to tell you not to let it, but it's kind of hard. Sometimes you got to just for a little bit, just feel all of it until your body start to mend and like lessen the pain really. And yeah, after you go through that first one, it's kind of a little scary to want to even go through it again because you remember how bad it was the first time. And they always say the first love's the worst because you haven't experienced it before, so you don't know what to do. You don't know, like all those emotions are new, and so it's just it takes a little longer to learn how to deal with it. And every other one after typically gets a little easier because you know what to do. You get getting your routine for recovering. And it still sucks. Don't get me wrong. It's just not as bad, if you know what I mean. But as for the actual song, I think it was okay. I liked when the beat came in for the actual chorus and the verses, but like what it was doing like in between with the outros and the ba 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 thing and what it started with, I didn't care for that much at all. But it was a short song, so we can forgive it. So we're gonna move on to the next song called Love Again.
Reset on my heart and a brand new slate. You make me feel like I can love again. You make me feel like I can love again. You make me feel like I can love. You make me feel like I can love again.
So that was Love Again, and to me this is a hit. I don't know what it is about this. I really enjoyed it. I liked the tempo in which she was moving through her words, like with the first two verses. Really, it was just like because it was almost like she was trying to like dip her toe into like the little bit of like not necessarily rapping, but maybe rapping, maybe spoken word, but like dipping her toe into it, not just like singing. Like the cycle of lines that typically happen in R&B songs. She was actually kind of putting some magic into that verse, and I don't know. To me, the feeling of it describes exactly what the song is. The song's about someone giving you so much hope, so much positivity that you're willing to take that risk and ignore the past pain to try to love somebody again. And she's saying this person makes all of that like worth it, I guess. And that's kind of what I get. Like, even if I weren't necessarily listening to the words, kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. It sounds like a springtime sort of beat to me, like which spring often symbolizes like rebirth or whatnot. So the rebirth of the desire to love someone. I think that this song was great. It's probably my favorite one so far. And I'm glad she put this one in here. I don't know why it's not in Genius's normal track list, but I enjoyed this song. Nothing else I can really say. This one's definitely getting added to my playlist. So track number 4 we're getting on is called Square Zero. Let's get into it.
Say Show me the light, is it this hard? Do you suppose that we can start as long as we start somewhere? I thought that we maybe could be something could have only we seem to be square. I pretend that it's mine, pretend that it's mine.
Alrighty, so that was Square Zero, and this song started hot to me. Like, I really enjoyed it at the beginning. I thought we were in for not necessarily another hit, but another great song. And it's still a good song. It's just, to me, it may have been slightly too long because my kind of interest faded, as it went on. Like, the pre-chorus on here and the chorus seemed to work really well. I enjoyed her choruses here. It's just something about that bridge and after. I don't know if I fully cared for it. The message in the song's still good. I mean, it's continuing along that theme of you're trying again, but it's like you're talking to the person saying, all right, so are we willing to like ignore what's happened in the past and just start over from square zero? I don't think square zero is normally the word we use I can't think of it, but anyway, start over and give this thing another go. Is pretty much what she's getting at. But yeah, I feel like, honestly, if she would have cut the bridge out and just put the outro or redid the bridge, it would have been a little better. Like, it would have been the hit that I was looking for. The production was good and early on. It just kind of tapered off. Like, I really don't have any other words for that. But let's keep going. We're going to move on to track number 5 called Under the Moon. Let's get into it.
Trust in my gut again, it always stays me right. There's nothing like the blue. I'm under the moon, hoping I'll get over to you. There's nothing there but the blue. I'm under the moon, hoping I'll get over to you. Some things are meant to prove, even if I lose, just waiting under the moon.
And that one is a very, very peaceful song. Very slow. You honestly may not even understand the message what I think is a message, unless you're like truly, truly listening to the words, not necessarily just only about like how it makes you feel and whatnot. Because to me, that song's not necessarily as sad as the lyrics are, or like to me, it's kind of just a calm song. To me, that would be like how you sing a love song. But really, what this song's about is trying to get over it's back to what the second song. What was the second song called? Too Bad I Forget was about in terms of how, like the being in the pain of heartbreak or like dealing with all of that. Because she's talking about there's nothing left but the blue. The blue being the blues, like the feeling of being sad and whatnot, and she's just under the moon, just trying to get like she literally says, hoping to get over you. It is kind of like she uses get under the moon so she can I want to say juxtapose that against hoping I get over you, like just kind of playing like literary. I can't remember what literary device that is, but just like going from under to over, simple play on words right there, and she just wants to get over, like, get through these emotions and get from under this dark cloud she feels she's going through, and she's just waiting under the moon to do that. And she's just repeating that over and over again. But this song, like, it's honestly something you could play trying to go to sleep, and that's not like a slug saying it's boring. It's just that soothing. And personally, I feel that is where she, not her best, but she does a lot of good work in that space where it's just like, just not necessarily background music, but it's just soothing music you can play anywhere and nobody's going to think anything of you for playing it. It's just relaxing. A lot of what I get from her is something you play like maybe in a yoga class, like stuff like that is where she's like, that's just where her best songs tend to lie, in my opinion. Not saying this is one of the best songs in the album, well, the best song in the album, because to me it's not so far, but it is a very good song. I really enjoy this one. So we're going to move into the next song, song number 6, called Without. So let's get into it.
The truth jumped right out of plane without a parachute. Nothing beats the view, oh, the thought of you, loving how you do. After it all, I still wanna give. After the hurt, you grow when you live. But what is life without love? What is life without love?
Alrighty, so that was Without. And this is a short song, less than 2 minutes, but to me it's really just speaking about how even though she knows that love may not always go her way and that it's not always a perfect and positive feeling, she feels it's a necessary sacrifice, something she feels she's got to dive into wholeheartedly because that's what love is about. I mean, life is about. I mean, I think that's kind of made clear when she says, what is life? Like, she ends the song with saying it twice. What is life without love? What is life without love? The song's called Without. So it's really emphasizing whether or not you should live your life without experiencing and trying to give out love to other people, and experiencing love from other people. And what she opens it up with is how wholeheartedly she feels you have to dive into love. And she's saying she jumps right out of a plane without a parachute. So that means you're jumping out with the reckless abandon. You're going you don't care the consequences if you jump out of a plane without a parachute. You're just doing it because you feel that's what you should be doing. And that kind of speaks to how much she's willing to try for a positive relationship. Then she touches on the fear of flight, but I'm saying in fear of flight I touch the sky, mentioning, well, to me this means more so what you talked about earlier, how you can be afraid of the heartbreak and all of that. But she's and she's comparing that to the fear of flight. It's something you don't want to experience, but she's in the sky, she's touching the sky, so she's obviously flying. And she's persevering through that fear, and she feels like she has to, because once again, tying it back into the title of the song, what's a life without love? So it's a short song, but I think it's very pretty, and it speaks a lot about Alex Isley and her views on love and how it's necessary to have to sacrifice certain things to experience it, you know? So, pretty song. We're going to move on to the next song called On and On. And so far, I don't think she's had any features. Oh, as I say that, this song has a feature from Boz, who is in Dreamville, a rapper, so we'll see how this works together.
My dreams ain't even fit to share. This road is lonely as it seems, at least I've been prepared. I left no feeling spared, still I care for you, there for you when this world wears on you. Where was I? By your side like a pair, two of a kind, back when we were aligned. back when you were still mine. Back into the back and forth, I'm backing out the garage. I could double back, my rearview looking like a mirage. Happier days, table breaking at the mirage. Vegas not with the guys.
So that was On and On featuring Boss. And I don't know, I was a little... I feel like I don't truly understand what this song's about, but I'm going to give it my best go. I mean, to me, because a lot of the verse is speaking on a lot of negative stuff, but like Boss's verse is kind of wanting to still try, like wanting to be in a relationship, like the world being lonely, and still wanting to start something with this woman, while Alex's verses are touching on, like her verse 2, for example, says cold sweats cover all my thoughts, I wanna but I'd rather not, and then it ends saying you left me in defeat, I already gave the best of me. Verse 1 talks about wishing I can sleep again, started off innocent, it's time when all the dreams just got worse, you see, so what does it mean? So it's like, I'm not necessarily sure. To me, and in fact, that may be what it's about, is kind of like the whole process of love, like being in the relationship where things aren't necessarily the best and you're trying to figure out what you're doing. Sometimes you feel defeated, sometimes you feel great, but all you know is you want to keep trying. And maybe that's all it is about. It's that simple, and just, which would make sense of the song being called On and On, is just continuing to go on and on with the relationship, even though it's not always peaches and cream. It's not always what you want it to be. So y'all let me know if y'all agree with my take on the song. I liked it, I want to say. I don't think it's one of my favorites. Like, to me, the only song I don't think I really cared for was it was one in the beginning. It was either Too Bad I Forget or Love Again. No, it wasn't Love Again. I think it was Too Bad I Forget. But so far, I've liked every song. I haven't necessarily wanted to save every song, though, but I thought that was a good song. So now we're going to move on to the 8th song, I believe it is, called Still Wonder, featuring Robert Glasper, whose album I just reviewed. Go back and check that out, because that is a great album, Black Radio 3. I did a review over it. I've heard this song because it was released beforehand, but I will still review it because I actually don't remember what it sounds like, but I remember liking it because it is in the playlist. So let's hear it.
I get to the heel. Hard to assess how I feel nowadays. Thinking my mind's something changed. Struggling here in the interface. In between self-love and the loss of you. Holding in time and I know the truth. Wrote down just what we were meant to do. It's a hard pill to, cause I still wonder about you. Ain't nothing like your face. But let me go on my way. No more to say.
So that was Still Wonder. I enjoy this song. Like I already told you, I added it to the playlist. Although this may be the first time I've actually truly paid attention to the words and what she was trying to cover here. It's back on the heartbreak side of things. The first verse kind of makes it clear. How do I heal? Hard to assess how I feel nowadays. Thinking in my mind something changed. Struggling here in the interface. Like she's going through the heartbreak and trying to navigate that space, trying to get back to normal here. But the issue she's having is she's still, like, well, she can't fully focus on herself because she's still wondering, which is the name of the song, still wondering about the person from the past. She can't move, she feels like she can't move past that. She knows it was a good thing, like it was the right thing for them to break up or to end whatever they had going on, but she can't necessarily, she's not in this place where she can move past it, and she still is feeling, she feels like, you know, when something's wrong for you, but you still want to be in it, if that makes sense. And that's where she's at right now. She can't move past that, which is what the whole song's about. And then you have Glasper at the end with his just, because Glasper is just a well, not just, but he's a pianist. That's kind of what he does in songs with that piano, like the piano and production. So he's kind of the piano in the background, and then he has a solo at the end, which I'm going to put a little bit in, so you can experience that. But that's really all the song's about. And I want to talk about the two things Alex Isley has going on in these two songs, but I'm going to save it for after the next song. So we're going to quickly get into this next song called 105.
More than the memory, more than I used to be. All the reasons are right there outside my door. Everything that I seem to live for. Everything that I seem to live for. All the reasons are right there outside my door. Everything that I seem to live for. I see it here, just let me go. I wish I could go back. Oh, I see it here, just let me go. No way I can go back.
So that was the final track called 105. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm as clear on the messaging here. It's a pretty song. It's the longest song of the album is what her outro is. And it's definitely calm. It's probably one of my least favorite of the albums, simply because because I don't know if I feel like there was maybe less focus on the lyric. Not to say she didn't focus on it, but there was less to me. Or maybe I'm just not understanding it, which contributes to me not liking the song, which is very possible. But I just feel like it was less done here, and it was kind of just about trying to end it on that relaxing, peaceful note that Alex Isley always leaves you with. Like, you know, it's still referencing love. You know, this song is still talking about whether it's positive or negative is up for debate. Actually, based off of the first verse, I would argue that it's negative because it's just talking about something in the distance keeps calling. Over and over, just like before, I need something more. And then I think she says, I need something more quite often in the song. More than a memory, more than I used to be. So maybe it's not even about necessarily loving someone else. Maybe it's more so about herself, like loving herself and the changes that are going on in different seasons in her life, and being able to, I guess, continue to grow and develop throughout all of these different phases of love, and still keeping some of the self-love that you need in order to love somebody else. Is maybe that's what I'm getting from the song. But that's just me trying to read it right now, read the lyrics for what they were, because I don't think I did a great job of it during the song. But as for the entire album, I thought it was a good album. It's the first album I've heard from her. I never went back and listened to her old albums because they were like, I started listening to her maybe in 2020, and I've been listening to everything she dropped since. But I didn't really go back and listen to the old projects because it was like back in 2015, 16, 17. So it's like I don't think she's the same person, because she took a long hiatus between them. So I was like, I didn't want to go back and listen to those old things because I'm clearly not who she is anymore. So I feel like, getting back to what this album's talking about, I feel like she is talking about the pros and cons of love. She has songs that are very love positive, like just talking about how good relationships can be, how much she wants to be in those in that realm, in that space. Then she has songs talking about the heartbreak and how sometimes love may not feel that it's worth it. So it's kind of like feel like she's just giving you a total experience of love. She's giving you both sides. She doesn't want you just to have the rose-colored glasses, but she also doesn't want you to have a disdain, a fear, a mindset that love's not worth it, because she's like it's a little, because the true answer is it's somewhere in the middle. Like you feel like love is something you need, like not necessarily you need to make your life only about is being in romantic love with other people, but she's like that experiencing that romantic love is something you should want to experience. Not saying that the heart, like if it doesn't work, it's not going to hurt, but the benefits of it and what you can get out of it could be worth that heartbreak, is what she's getting at. Just giving you a realistic view of love. So I think she did a great job with this album in terms of the messaging and what she's going for. And as always with her production with Jack Dine, it leaves you in a very introspective, soothing, calm mood, which is what I love about Alex Isley. I feel like she's going to be she probably won't be one of the biggest names in R&B, simply because of what she sings about and how it's less vivacious than most R&B songs that make the radio. But that doesn't mean she's lacking in quality. I feel like she stands up against those type artists really well. So that's all I have for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this album truly. As you can normally tell, when I start speaking a lot about the lyrics is when I'm really enjoying it, really enjoy the artist and what they stand for. So let me hear your thoughts on my takes on songs. Let me hear your takes on songs. Let me hear any albums you want me to review, any singles you want me to listen to. Even if you're a smaller artist and want me to review your music, I will do it. There's a caveat: if I don't like it, I will let you know, because I don't want to put out a song bashing who you are and what you're trying to do. I would just say tell you I don't really think that I should review this because it's not going to help you. But send it to me anyways, because I'm trying to be as true as I can. I love R&B music. I love a lot of music in general. So I'd love to get your name out there, because that's what I want to do, is show people R&B and all the facets of it. So without further ado, hit that like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed. And may the Lord keep y'all till I see y'all again. Peace.